Hello, I'm Jenna, and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. I'm here today to tell you about the new challenge over at the Funkie Junkie challenge blog. Our new challenge is Stamped with Love. So I'm going to be pulling out some Tim Holtz stamps today for a fun, creative project. Now, this challenge is open from August 24th through September 6th. If you would like to join the fun at this challenge, go ahead and click the link down in the description box. As always, we greatly look forward to seeing all of your fantastic creative makes. For today's creation, I am pulling out some of my favorite Tim Holtz stamps, and I'm going to be diving into some of the new Ranger mediums, the Tim Holtz Halloween collection. So if you'd like to see exactly which products I'm going to be using for this card, go ahead and pause here. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. Today we are playing to the theme of Stamped with Love. Now before we get into the fun stamping portion of this video, I'm going to start by creating a base using the new Sizzix Tim Holtz embossing folder Acorn. So for this I'm going to be using a technique where we're going to be adding Distress Oxide to the inside of the folder to give a colored background before we come back and embellish the leaves. So to do that, we're going to just open the folder. As you can see, I've already done this technique just a few times. And we're going to be inking with Distress Oxide Uncharted Mariner. This is going to be a beautiful fall color for the background of our card. So we're just going to take this and I'm going to rub that right onto the folder. I want to make sure that I've got good coverage on here. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to get some paper. I am using some of the Tim Holtz Heavy Stock White, and then I'm just going to take this and run it through my Vagabond to get an impression. Before we dive too deep into this video, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new colors that Ranger has released with Tim Holtz for the Halloween crafting season. So here we have the new Distress Mica Spray Stain colors, and these are absolutely gorgeous. We have got Burning Ember, Harvest Moon, Wicked Elixir, Fortune Teller, Decayed, and Iron Gate. These are absolutely gorgeous. And we also have the Distress Pearlescent crayons. So far I have Harvest Moon, Burning Ember, and Iron Gate. The other crayons are coming soon, but they're currently stuck in transit. But in the meantime, I am going to have fun and create a project with these beautiful colors. Now, before we dive right in, let's go ahead and give these a quick little swatch to see how fantastic the color is. All right, I'm going to start with Iron Gate. Just going to put that down. Ooh, very nice. Let's bring the camera down just a little bit more. And we've got Burning Ember. Ooh, nice and creamy. That's got a great smudge factor. Then we've got Harvest Moon. And gorgeous. These new colors are beautiful. We've got that nice shimmer in there. All right, let's take a quick look at the spray stains and see how those look. Giving it a quick shake. And I'm not going to do a full spray. I want to do just a little swatch. I'm going to take a paintbrush for that. I'm just going to drip just a little of this off to the side and then swatch it out using the paintbrush. And that'll also give me a moment to add the swatch to the top of the container. The new labels are so useful, and it makes a nice, quick and easy reference when choosing colors. So I'll just paint that on here. So shimmery. And do a swatch on here. That looks gorgeous. Okay, now on to Harvest Moon. I'm just taking a little drop of this, putting it off to the side. That looks good. Okay, and let's bring a little Harvest Moon over here. Put that on the label. Ooh, what a beautiful bright yellow. And so sparkly. Absolutely loving that. Swatching that out on here. Yeah, I'm definitely getting tones of squeezed lemonade in this. It's that really bright yellow, and that's just so darn shiny. Absolutely love it. Okay, now next up is Wicked Elixir. Give that a quick shake. Unscrew that, put a little drop off to the side. All right, let's see how that looks on the top of this. That is a nice, vibrant green. Definitely going to need to play with that more and see how Myron might look with that color. All right, swatching that out on here. Again, very pretty and very sparkly. All right, next in the line we have Fortune Teller. Just unscrewing that, a little drop. That purple is so rich. That is just really good. Okay, let's see how that looks on top. Ooh, that is so pretty. Okay, and we'll swatch that out right here. Ooh, yeah, definitely loving this. That is gorgeous. Okay, on to Decayed. Now this is the one that Tim mentioned has some different tones going on in the bottle, depending on which angle you look at it. I'm seeing you've got kind of a goldish sheen, and then you've got something else, just like, oh, it's hard to describe. It's a little bit green, but it's not. It's a little bit gray. I don't know. This is magical. This is really cool. Okay, taking a little bit of that. All right, let's see how that looks on the top of the bottle. Ooh. That is just really interesting. Huh. Well, I can't wait to see that in action. Ooh. Yeah, this is a hard one to describe. It's just... it's magical. That's all I can say. Absolutely magical. Huh. Alright, and the last color, we've got Iron Gate. So, just taking a little bit of that. Tap that on the side. Good. And adding a swatch to the top of our container. Very nice. And a swatch. That is very interesting. Okay, so these are the new colors that we're going to be playing with today. So let's set this aside and jump back into our project. Okay. Here's our embossing folder. We ran this through the bag bond a couple of times, and here are the results. We have Uncharted Mariner in the background that has given us a beautiful solid color to work over. Now, before I start altering this, I'm going to just trim this down a little bit and go from there. So, bringing in the tonic trimmer, and I just want to trim off 1/4 inch from each side. Actually, maybe a little less than 1/4 inch. Oh, I think it'll be a 1/4 inch once I'm done. Let's see. Just want to trim off those edges. Now I'm going to add some color to this using the new Distress crayons. And I also am going to pull in one of last year's crayons. I also wanted to pull in Peppermint Stick for a splash of red. Oh, and maybe Broomstick. I'm going to need a little bit of brown. There we go. So, for this part, I'm going to take some of the crayon and I'm going to scribble that over the leaf. I'm just going to do this a bit randomly. And then we're going to rub that out with our fingers to complete our background. Ooh. I'm loving the colors. These are just so pretty. All right, and we'll mix and match that with a couple of last year's colors as well. Very good. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to take a finger. I'm going to start with the yellow parts, the Harvest Moon. I'll blend those out first. Then I'll go back and work on the darker parts. So the crayon is nice and creamy, so I don't even need to add water while smudging this out, which is great. Okay, now let's go back and take care of the other parts. So just going around using my finger to smudge the crayon in, get a nice blend going for our fall leaves. There. Definitely loving the look of this. Okay, that is just about right. Then I will switch colors and we will add some color to the stems and to the acorns. All right, so I'm going to go in with Crooked Broomstick for the twigs. And then on the acorns, I'm going to use a little bit of Crooked Broomstick and a little bit of Harvest Moon. We'll just mix and match. Okay. And a little dash of Harvest Moon. Good. Okay, going back in with my finger to blend. Yep, that is doing just what I want it to do. Very pretty. I like this. It is a really easy way to create a custom background with just a few colors and minimal tools. Okay. I like how that looks. So the last thing that I'm going to do before I start layering up my background will be to add a touch of walnut stain. I want to bring back some of the details on the leaf. All right, here is some of the walnut stain. I'm just going to gently scribble this on to bring back in some of the details of the leaf. Just going over lightly, just trying to hit on the raised areas of the leaf. Good. There. Now the detail's starting to pop back in. Definitely liking that quite a bit. Okay, a little bit more. And there we go. Here is our finished background for our card. Now I'm going to be doing a layered background, so I'm pulling in some of the Tim Holtz Ideology metallic cardstock, and this is going to be our first 2 layers. All right, Oh, let's see. I want to go in with some foam squares. That'll give the card a little bit more dimension. All right, let's go ahead and pop the foam squares on. Just going to flip this over and add the foam squares. Okay, that should be good. Now we'll just peel these and stick them onto the background. Okay, lining this up and sticking it down. All right. Okay, so this is the background of our card. We're going to set this aside for now, and we're going to focus on the primary focal point. And we're going to be doing some stamping. For stamping, I have decided that I want to use the Tim Holtz Floral Elements Stamp Set, CMS 445. And we're going to be die cutting out a simple background to work on. I'm going to be using some of the Tim Holtz Heavy Stock White, and I'm going to cut out a oval, and then we're going to do some stamping on it. And here is my die cut piece. So I'm going to be taking some of the stamps and I'm going to be making a floral arrangement on here. Then using the Distress Mica spray stains, I'm going to use those to watercolor in our stamped images. So let's go ahead and pull some stamps and see what we can make. So many wonderful choices to choose from. Okay, I think I've got a good selection right here. And we're going to go in with some Distress Archival Black Soot. I'm going to start with the little plants first on the outside and then work my way inside. Because these have such a great sketchy quality to them, it's not going to matter if we overlap our images. Once I watercolor in, that's going to help direct the eye on how I want this little floral arrangement to be seen. While I'm stamping, I'm going to put this part on fast forward so that you can see the compositional makeup of our focal point. Here is the finished stamping. As you can see, we've got a lot of overlapping lines, but this won't be a problem at all when I start to go in and watercolor. So I'm just going to bring the camera down a little bit more so we've got a good view of what is going on. I will watercolor the central focal point in real time, and then I will put the rest on fast forward. For watercoloring, I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz Fine Detailer water brush, and I'm also going to be pulling in the new colors of Distress Mica Spray Stain. So I'm just giving these a good shake, and then I'm just going to put a few drops of this onto the side of my craft mat. And that will give me a palette to work with as we add color to all of these fun floral elements. Okay. And one more to shake. Adding a little bit of Harvest Moon over to the side. All right. That should be good enough for now. So I'm just using the water brush, pulling a little bit of pigment at a time in, and just painting around the edges first to define where the flower is. I can add in the details to the other pieces later, but I want the main focal point to pop out first, and then I can construct the rest of the scene around it. Oh, that purple is so good. For fortune teller for the win. All right. So just carefully painting this in. Working on the edges. There we go. Now I'll just try to block that all in, and then we'll move on to the rest of the flowers. I'll probably come back and do a second layer to do details, but right now I'm thinking more about color blocking, just to get the color on here and to get a general idea of the rest of the composition of the focal point. Okay, let's go ahead and put the rest of this on fast forward. And here is our stamped focal piece. And the watercoloring came out really well. We've got that sparkly Distress Mica spray stain on here. And that is just super shimmery. Okay, now for finishing touches on this, I decided that I wanted to add a slight edge around this oval. I'm just going to very carefully add a little bit of Distress Crayon Burning Embers around the edge. Just carefully turn it. I'm just lightly brushing the crayon over the edge of the paper. There, just like that. Okay. I like that. That's anchoring the whole thing together with that added splash of color around the edge. All right, almost back to the beginning of that. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead and attach that to our card. It's gonna go here. Ooh, I am liking how the colors ended up working together for this. Not a color combination I would normally gravitate towards with the purple in the center, but that really does work. Okay. So for this, I think I'm going to use some of the smaller foam squares to attach this to the front of the card. Okay, we've got our foam squares on the back of our focal point, and this is going to go on here, just like that. Now, for finishing touches, I decided to pull out stamp set CMS 446, Noteworthy, and I decided to use the stamp Make Today Amazing. So we're just going to take that stamp. We will grab a small acrylic block, and I'm going to stamp that in Uncharted Mariner Distress Oxide. Good, all stamped up. And we'll just place that down right here, and then I will grab the tonic trimmer and cut this down to size. All right, nice and easy. So this is convenient. I can use the back of my swatch card so I don't have to break into a whole nother piece of paper. And we'll just slide that on here and cut. All right, now just a little bit of collage medium, and this card will be complete. Okay, and I'm going to place the sentiment right here. Here is today's completed card for the theme Stamped with Love. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Crafty Corner for the new challenge over at the Funkie Junkie challenge blog. We greatly look forward to seeing all of your wonderful creative makes. Don't forget, you can pull out new and old stamps. Pick your favorites and create something you love. And if you would like to join the fun, just click the link down in the description box, and there will be instructions to guide you how to enter the Funkie Junkie challenge. So, until next time, happy crafting!